Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Cast. I am Russell Song, and with me I have...
S.A.N.
Well, last we left off, Aquans Jonas had just completed their long-planned goal of dealing with the expeditionary force sent from Ulrix by the Court of the Seven to Vyrn's Run. They managed to deal with all the stealth operatives, all the foot soldiers, and both of the sorcerers that had been sent, as well as a few new recruits that the court had for more or less conscripted or hired into their service. It's unclear exactly how that worked. And with this threat finally dealt with, Aquans Jonas decided that they had finally outgrown Vyrn's Run, and that it was time for them to continue on with their adventures in the world, having dealt with the immediate threat to both Vyrn's Run and Lakeside on the Plateau. Having decided this, they bought their supplies, and as they were about to leave Vyrn's Run, they had a brief encounter with the Silver Baron, Corin Yilbim, basically just an older soldier who was still in service of Vyrn's Run, whose purpose earlier had been to gather an army and deal with a garrison to the north. His troops had finally returned to Vyrn's Run after the problem had been dealt with. Not wanting to head out again, they decided to remain in Vyrn's Run. After this brief encounter with the Silver Baron, Aquans Jonas decided to continue on their way and head out the south gate of Vyrn's Run. And that is where we're coming here. And this is our brand new regional map showing where we've been.
Yep. So this is Vyrn's Run.
Yep.
If I scan up all the way at the top, that is the fortress that the troops were planning on heading to and never got there.
Yeah.
But to start from the beginning, this is the Plateau.
Yep. That's where we came off. There's the nameless river we followed.
Followed the river, went through the very dark forests, came out the other end, went to the monastery, it's not on the map, came to this gorge, and managed to cross on this tree, and there was a bit of an encounter with some individuals in a cliffside ruin. So he ended up hooking up with his road, got to Vyrn's Run, and that's where we've been for a while.
Yes, we've been here almost a month by this point, I suspect.
Yeah.
We are well into fall by this point.
Yep. And then, now we are going to head south. We're going to leave Vyrn's Run and follow this road, because this road eventually will lead us either to Lyria, or possibly one or two threads of, possible places where we go, that we got from the Arcana.
Yeah.
So, we're going to head south and see what that brings. Yeah, bought a lot of materials for doing research.
Yep.
And one thing that's going to change a little bit in the next few days is we're not in any time crunch anymore.
No, we're not in a hurry for the first time since we left the plateau.
Exactly. So we may actually, spend a few extra days here and there, get some of our research done. You have an awful lot of stuff, but
I have a lot of transcribing to do, yes.
I have some research I want to do as well.
Yep.
So, not as hectic, hopefully. That's our plan, anyway. So, early in the morning, after talking to the Silver Baron, we head south.
Yes. Which, for those who are wondering, on the other map was on the far left of our Vyrn's Run map.
Goes to the left, that's the gate we're going out.
Yep.
And the one at the top of the screen from the old map is the one we came in.
Yes.
So this day starts off actually a bit warmer than it has been.
It has been raining and storming and snowing in the past week, basically.
Yeah, we had a horrible storm that just devastated a good chunk of Vyrn's Run. And then the weather seems to have bounced back from that, back to something more normal. And it is a nice, crisp morning, but it's warming up quite quickly, and it's very sunny.
Rather coincidentally, it's bouncing back right after we dealt with the Storm Sorcerer. they don't have. Oh, yes, it is. It is. We should say it is coincidental. They do not have that much control over the weather.
Well, at least not the one we dealt with.
No.
Alright, I would like you to start this session off by rolling me a 20-sided die, please.
All right, so just roll the
no
d20.
modifiers, no nothing, just a 20-sided die.
8.
No, we head south.
All right, so this is mostly farmland at this point, I suspect.
Alright. There's a lot of traffic, especially initially because a lot of merchandise, provisions, produce, cattle, all sorts of stuff come in through the south gate and the west gate, mostly, a little bit from the north gate. So this is south of Vyrn's Run. Is probably the only part of this area that is relatively secure and some prosperous farms.
So this is a leisurely stroll for us.
Well, we'll see, because we haven't really done any long walks in a while.
No, it is true. We have been inside a town for almost a month. And I guess it makes sense that there's lots of traffic now because, well, all the crises that have been happening in the past while have finally been averted.
Yeah. So, dodging, and well, moving to the side of the road as carts come and carts go.
We can literally just take a step off the road and walk in the grass, basically.
Yeah, well, there is, because it is a road of commerce, there is ditches on either side. And even though it is much drier today, there is water. Nothing you mind.
No, not that I mind.
So, we head south.
We head south.
It gets warmer. It gets quite warm, actually. By about midday, it is warmer than it's been in a very, very long time. And quite dry and dusty. Very hard to say. It's not... It's a fall day. You can feel it. You can see the color change on the leaves. But it's a hot day, too. So as we're going down, it's farm, crops, couple trees. Farm, crops, couple trees. Repeat.
Repeat. Yes.
There's this section here, even though it's a very small section on the map, we're not going to travel very far today, but...
No, this map is scale is quite far out.
Yeah. This is...
I mean, we found out that
2
it's...
weeks travel from here to here, and from Vyrn's Run to this fort was 2 weeks travel as well. So we are looking at, well, from here to here, another 2 weeks.
Yeah. And we found out that that travel to Lyria is going to take by about a month on foot.
Yes. Could have rented a horse, could have bought a horse, but we're going to stop, we're going to look at things, we're going to poke around and stuff.
Yes, and a horse has to be taken care of, which we do not exactly have training to do.
Yeah, we could have done it, but it's not really worth the quicker pace. So, as the day is going on, and the tedium is getting a little set in because, well, it's not a whole lot happened. Compared to our busy couple of weeks and months, the last little while, this is quite mundane. Nothing happened. About 2 in the afternoon, you hear, actually no, you may not hear it initially. Give me a perception check, please. Is your cat out, or is she somewhere else relaxing and not doing this?
I haven't summoned her yet, mostly because, well, if there's lots of traffic, I do not want her to be just run over. Alright, 17.
You hear what sounds like the screech of a bird of prey.
Okay. I try to look in the direction that I heard the screech come from.
Well, unfortunately, it's in the direction of the sun.
Ah.
So you don't really get much of a look, but all of a sudden you see a shadow pass over the sun, and then something is plummeting from the sky.
Towards us?
No, it's off. We're walking this way. It's off in a farm. There's basically a sheep farm.
Yep.
And it is plummeting down into that.
Could I roll a nature check to see if it is a bird of prey I recognize?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh dear. I rolled a 2 plus 8 is 10. I don't think so.
Well, you could probably figure it out, except for the fact it happens very, very quickly. This is almost like not like a meteorite, but just like something plummeting out of the sky, except at the very last second, these massive wings spread out, and this creature lands straight on top of a sheep, and the sheep dies instantly.
Okay, so not a bird of prey then.
No, this thing is quite massive.
They do not normally attack sheep. They do not normally attack sheep.
No, they are not big enough for that. This has massive wings, eagle's head, but seems to have some form of mammalian body. It's off a bit of distance. You can roll an Arcana check if you like.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what it is anyway. But I did roll a 13 in total, so maybe not.
No, this is a common sight. It's a common of these sorts of creatures. It is a griffin.
Yeah, it's a griffin.
It's a griffin. And like I said, the sheep dies instantly. And currently, right now, it is having a bit of a snack. The rest of the flock is fled. Like, panic. You do see 2 sheepdogs and a shepherd trying to make a lot of noise and running towards the griffin.
So they're suicidal.
Yeah, possibly. Interesting. The funny thing is, the griffin spots them obviously right away, digs its claws into the carcass now, flaps its wings really hard, and takes off.
Okay. This shepherd has scared off a griffin.
Ah, it was very good rolls. Well, I mean, it's all two dogs. Sheepdogs. Well, these aren't sheepdogs. These are herding dogs, but not sheepdogs.
Okay. Yes, they are still dogs, and it is still a griffin.
Yes. Well, it has its meal, and discretion sometimes is the better part of valor, I guess, and it has flown off. It has flown off to the... We're heading south. It's flown off to the southwest.
Alright, so we might run into this thing. So it's on the same side of this massive river that runs by Vyrn's Run as we are.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely on the side of the river.
Alright, well, I doubt for my 13 Arcana check if I could probably know much about griffin habitats, so it could nest anywhere as far as I know.
Well, you know that they prefer either cliff side, something really big, or truly large trees. And we are, barely out of here yet, and this happened somewhere around here, and it's flying in this direction, but we know there's this truly massive trees in that forest.
Yes, and it could fly very quickly to anywhere in that forest.
Yep, and that is a long way away from here.
Alright then. Well, such is nature, I guess.
We don't care.
No.
We had nothing invested in any of these farms, and one sheep more or less is not going to make any difference because there are literally 50 to 100 in that flock.
Yeah. Yeah, they must have quite a few predators around here that that are well fed because of that flock.
Yes. Anyway, it was something interesting that happened.
Okay.
I did mention that this day was rather mundane, right?
Yeah, you did. I mean, a griffin flying in and eating a sheep is noteworthy.
Yeah, that is the most exciting thing that happens today. Except one other thing, it's really kind of interesting near the end of the day. We've had our lunch, and I said the day is quite hot, but it's bearable. Out of the two of us, I think I'm finally the more comfortable.
Yes.
Because it is a bit dry as well. I don't think you're tempted to stick your head in any of the ditch water here, but, you know.
I can just cause rain to pour down if I really feel like it. Once a day.
Like I said, it's not hot. It's just clear, dry, and warm. It's a nice breeze, though. So anyway, the interesting thing, or the odd thing, I should say, as the day progresses, like we're getting closer. We've been on the road now for 8 hours, and we're thinking about, it's time to start thinking about possibly camping for the evening. Still a fair amount of farms, not very many woodlands, wood lots, but we do notice signs on the side of the road at some of the farms. It says B&B, and then it says, you know, usually a price like 2 silver pieces, anywhere between 2 and 4. It seems to be roughly the run of it. The other one goes up to 5, but it's very odd.
All right. Well, we're trying to get back into the habit of camping in the wilderness, so it probably doesn't do much for us to go from a town that we were in for a full month, almost, and then the first night out we decide to stay at the B&B.
You sure? Okay.
That's my thought on the process. What about you?
Well, can you roll a perception check for me?
5.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. This should not be news by this point.
As we're walking, noticing these signs, we do see off the side of the road a cart is pulled over. It's loaded with stuff. It's has a heavy tarp over it. It's all tied down, and there is a driver, who is currently negotiating with somebody on the side of the road, but you can't really make it up.
Okay.
Doesn't interest you at all?
It seems like rather typical things to happen on a traveling road like this.
Yep, that's so.
Yep.
Alright. I would like you to roll a survival check then, with my assistance, to try and find a place that is relatively simple to bed down in for the night.
Alright, I do not have survival, so I'm just adding my wisdom modifier.
Right.
9 was the higher of the two.
Alright, so this is not going to be a comfortable night for our first night out.
It probably was not going to be anyway.
Hmm?
It probably was not going to be anyway.
Well, not relative to a bed. And we have been sleeping in the same room in an inn for a month. So, yeah. Alright. Woodlots are fairly small because the farms are quite dense still. But we can find a good half-acre lot. It's got a lot of bramble and bush in it, and it's, like I said, not going to be pleasant, but fortunately we don't have to sleep on the ground.
Yeah. I suppose with that rule, am I able to gather enough kindling, I guess, for a campfire?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of that sort of stuff. And because of the, well, we both speak today, the wood has dried out sufficiently that getting a fire going is magic. It's very easy to get a fire
Yes.
going.
I'm going to put all the kindling together, put some kindling together, and I'm going to use prestidigitation to light a small campfire for our evening meal.
Alright, so we have to heat up some water, soften up some of the hardtack, the fruits, and the dried fruit and meats and whatnot.
Yeah.
And very much like our first meal from way back when Ren was trying to tell us that adventuring is not always wonderful, this is very reminiscent of that meal.
So I assume we're marking off a day's worth of food now.
Yes.
Something we haven't done in quite some time.
Yes, so mark that you've had
Yeah. I just keep track of days.
Yeah, 2 meals because we would have had breakfast at the end.
I just keep track of it in days, not meals.
Well, I laid in a lot of food before we left, so
Yeah.
we should be good for quite a while. Alright, are we going to do watches? Because this time, instead of last time, we have the hut.
Well, I'm definitely going to take out the bell and the silver thread, and I'm going to cast alarm warding our campsite.
Okay. So we're going to take turns watching, or just going to leave the familiars out?
What's your thought on on that? The hut does give us a added security we haven't had in camping before. On the other hand, this is the first time we would be using it actually in the wilderness.
Yeah. Well, we're not in the wilderness. We're 8 hours walk from Vyrn's Run
Yeah.
and farmland.
Yes.
I want the griffin, but I don't think a griffin's going to even get through it, so
No.
whatever you like. You decide.
Well, we probably should just to get back in the habit of it, I think.
Alright.
So,
you want first watch?
yes, I will take first watch.
Okay. Oh, the other thing to let people know, our evening routine as we travel south will involve, because we're limited, a fair amount of research. You're going to be doing some scribing.
Yes.
I'm going to be doing some research for some spells, and I messed up my first roll for my potion of invisibility, so I had to be very careful with that, so I'm going to do a little extra work on that as well, and that's how we're going to spend our time.
Yep. Alright, so I'm rolling perception.
Yeah.
Do I have my... You're asleep, so do I have my familiar's assistance?
Yes.
Okay. One second. That was correct. Oh dear. Well, it's not a natural 1. That's nice. 9 for the first watch.
Have you gotten above 10 yet?
Yes, I rolled a 17 on a perception check.
Oh, well,
And I rolled a 13 on my Arcana check for the Griffin.
nothing seems to go on.
Alright. So I'm just going to start the transcribing into my Arcane Grimoire. Start the process of that.
And then while I take my ship,
Yep.
roll for... I have an 18.
Better?
And while I'm keeping an eye on, well, mostly my owl, because I'm not exactly concerned this close to town. I don't know, maybe just we're getting lazy. But anyway, nothing happens. I do some research. I rolled a natural 20 on my research for my new spell. Does that accelerate things a little bit?
You've already made the roll?
Yeah, I did while you were talking.
Well, normally a natural 20 counts as 2 successes for the check. So it doesn't accelerate it, but it does count as 2 successes.
Cool.
You still have to spend the full 6 days, full amount of time. It is a 3rd level spell you're researching.
Yes.
That is still the full 6 days, but that is 2 successes for you. So
Cool. So, morning does come. We've had our long rest. But we need to...
I get 2 new portents.
Yeah.
Right, and we have breakfast presumably.
Yes. So, mark off another meal. And we start our day. Could you also roll me a 20-sided, please?
Okay. 18 today.
Wow. Alright, so we get up. This day seems a bit more seasonal. It is cooler in the morning, and as the day progresses, it is more like a high teens. The day before was in the 20s for sure, and it's still quite sunny though. It's actually a lovely day. A bit more of a breeze, probably accounting for the cooler temperatures. But we notice as the day progresses, the farms are beginning to be further and further and further apart.
So we're finally getting out of the farmland today.
Yeah, there are farms. It's just they're not as condensed. It's not. Basically, it would look like it was just like suburbs of Vyrn's Run for the longest time. Now we're into more hinterland. The woodlots are a lot larger, and things are, like I said, a lot more spaced out.
All right.
About 11 in the morning, as we're trudging along, we come up to a farm, but we're greeted by a bunch of kids on the side of the road.
All right.
They have a box turned on upside down. They have a bunch of stuff there. And a couple of kids come out and talk to us and say, Misters, we have stuff for sale. We found some treasures. Would you be interested? Please come over and have a look.
All right. Well, I'll go over and take a look. I do not have the 10 minutes I need to cast Detect Magic, so I'll just be looking at it normally.
Well, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of magic involved here, but I'll give you an overview of what you see. As you notice on the map, the road does go by the river.
Yes.
And you notice that some of the things they have in here... One second. They have a bunch of shells, some shiny rocks, some bottles, and you know how sometimes the bottles get broken up in the gravel and waves go by and it gets polished. There's some bits and pieces of polished glass as well, and those shiny rocks, some bottles. A couple of them have some sort of stopper in them, and there's liquid in those. But for the most part, that's rocks, shells, and
Okay.
shiny stuff.
I'm just going to glance over again to see if there's anything of greater interest than just a random collection of knickknacks, basically.
Alright, go for it.
So, investigation, I guess? Is that what that checkup would be?
Sure.
Okay.
And keep in mind, while you're doing this investigation, you're getting the hard sell from a bunch of young kids to buy their stuff. The prices are really reasonable.
I have gold and gems on me. My coin purse was stolen. I don't have any silver left. I never bothered carrying copper. Alright. Well, that's a 12 total for investigation.
Alright, with that, you notice that one of the shiny rocks is actually an opal.
Okay, so it's a gemstone.
Semi-precious gemstone. It's worth way more than they're asking for. They only want, well, at the high end they're asking for a silver piece. This is worth a few gold at least, like maybe 20, 25 gold pieces.
We should probably just tell them that. Exchange, instead of just buying stuff off of them, that's probably worth more money than they're asking for. Unless we're willing to take advantage of a bunch of children just for a small semi-precious gemstone, which is worth less than we already have. Well, I have no use for an opal, and that's not a spell component I could think of.
Just 25 GP gem.
No. I don't feel like taking advantage of children just for a very minor monetary gain. Seems quite unscrupulous.
Well, you could buy it off them. For what it's worth.
Give them 25 gold for the opal. What are how many children?
It's not a large group.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of really young ones. They're about 3 4 years of age. There's one that's probably 5 or 6, and there's a slightly older girl who's just under 10.
Give 4 kids 25 gold, and they're probably going to get robbed in this town.
It's not a town, it's a farm.
Vyrn's Run is not far away.
True.
I think I was going to point out to them that the opal is worth a fair bit of money, and that it might be better to take that to a jeweler to get it appraised and to get money that way, as opposed to let's see how this goes. Do I have to roll persuasion or something?
Yeah, because they find it hard to believe, I think.
They're going to find it very hard to believe. 6.
Well, the older one says, well, if it's worth that much, why don't you buy it then?
So help me if this gets these kids robbed or killed. I'm going to find some way to punish you for it. I will pay them the 25 gold for this opal, which I'm probably never going to use for anything.
Alright, you pull out 25 gold pieces.
Yes.
And you have a bunch of faces that are just shocked and awe at that, and the older girl with trembling fingers takes all their stuff, stuffs it into a sack, and hands it to you. You can have everything for the 25 gold.
Okay, I have...
And they are ecstatic beyond belief.
Alright, 125... Yeah. 1 opal worth 25 gold pieces and a bag of junk, which I'm definitely not keeping.
Well, at the moment you have a bag of junk.
Yes. Well, that was a worthy transaction. I've made their family's day and possibly gotten their children robbed and killed.
You have such a dim look on the world. Not all doom and gloom.
The town we just came from
Yes, I know.
would definitely eat these children alive to get 25 gold.
But we're not there. We're a day and a half's march away.
Anyway. Well, I hope I don't come to regret that decision.
You will never know.
Yes.
Alright, we continue on after our little interlude of children with stuff.
Yes.
Odd thing is, like, maybe an hour later, like, hardly, well, maybe even less. The traffic now is a lot lighter, but there still is traffic. And the woman is heading, just by body language and the way they're walking, it looks like a woman. Has a cloak and a hood up, and seems to be, by the body language, sad, depressed, tired, hard to tell. You can roll a perception check if you like.
This wouldn't be insight?
Or, well, if you like, either one.
I have better insight than perception.
Okay.
On the other hand, I'm rolling terribly. 11.
Can't really garner more than that. She doesn't notice us and heads over in their direction.
No.
I don't know.
Well, this is part of the reason we were
You're
getting...
so pessimistic. Everybody's out to get you.
No. But this is literally the fact that this is basically what we spent the last month doing.
What?
Was dealing with people and their problems.
Oh, yeah. Alright. Anyway, it is indeed a young woman. And she doesn't really look up. She seems like a little nervous. And she's asking for information. She's looking for her sister, who got kidnapped. And she wants information about something she's calling the Cult of the Seven.
Okay, so that's the Court of the Seven. I think in my head. Alright, well I rolled low on my insight check, so as far as I know she's telling the truth, I presume. I mean, your sister was taken prisoner by the Court of the Seven, I say. They, as far as we know, live to the north of here.
You've heard of them?
We've met some of them, yes. They were, until recently, a issue for Vyrn's Run.
Please, tell me everything you know. Like, do they take slaves? Do they...
Yes, they do take slaves.
Do you know, are there any around here? Are they, trying to set up stuff in this area? Tell me everything you know, please.
Right. Well, I suppose I can't make a second insight check, so I guess I have to go off of what as far as I know, they're a cult of sorcerers operating out of the city of Ulrix. As far as I know, that's to the north of here. I don't know how far. And until recently, yes, there were some in Vyrn's Run, but they're not there anymore. They've been dealt with.
Dealt with?
Killed.
Alright. She says something and she said it kind of an odd way. Tell me more. And I would like you to roll a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay, that's, Well, I've been rolling poorly, and I have a 16 here. Out of portent, so I'm going to use that, because wisdom saving throws are... So that's a total of 22 in total for the saving throw. What was just done?
You're not entirely sure, unless you want to roll an Arcana check.
Yes. Oh, good grief. Natural 1. I'm rolling terribly.
You have no idea, but for a second you felt like you really wanted to tell her literally everything you know about the Court of the Seven.
Well, I resisted that, whatever that was. Did you notice?
Whatever you have is contagious. I rolled a 3. Plus the bus will not be enough.
Well, I know something was trying to influence my will there.
Yeah, you just seems a little confused for a second, and then
I say, it's usually polite not to try and cast a spell on someone you're trying to get information out of. I say.
I don't know magic.
Well, I say, you are unconvincing as a liar. I say, especially when I know a spell being cast upon me when I feel one.
I think maybe we should go our separate ways, she says, and then she heads off. Up the road the way we had come.
Alright.
There you go.
Alright, that happened.
That happened.
I'm rolling terribly today.
That's okay.
I'm glad I used that portent.
Yeah. Well, not really. Anyway.
Well, the next roll I did, apart from the portent, was a natural 1. I know it doesn't mean I would have gotten it, but still.
Alright. We are now heading into the latter part of the day.
Yes, and by this point I am sick and tired of civilization, and we're outside it.
Yes. We are...
Why was civilization not this annoying when we were inside it? And why is it when we're leaving that's trying to...
The kids weren't annoying.
No, but still.
Well, we're walking along,
I'm going to try and keep an eye out for that woman, just in case she decides that she wants to try and get information out of us in less pleasant ways.
Right.
Do I roll a perception check?
Okay. Yeah, roll a perception check. I have advantage because I'll definitely be looking at 2 for it.
Good grief. 9.
Well, she's not right in front of your face. That's about all you can tell from that roll.
I mean, between the portents and all the other d20s I've rolled so far this session, I have rolled above 10 3 times.
There you go. You're goody do. So, as I was saying, the day is coming closer to an end now. We have walked about 6-7 hours today. We're a bit tired.
Mm-hmm.
We're at a very dense forested part on both sides of the road.
Okay.
We haven't seen any traffic in a fairly lengthy time at this point. Your wish to be a civilization is coming true because, well, like I said, you haven't seen anybody. You definitely haven't seen her. But you do see one person. There's a tree really close to the road on the riverside, and there's a guy leaning up against the tree there, just casually leaning.
Okay, there's someone leaning against a tree.
Someone leaning against the tree.
Are we, at this the point we are starting to think about setting up camp?
We are at most another hour till we would need to set up some camp.
All right, I'm going to ask if you. I'm going to ask you if you feel like we should set up camp now or keep going.
Roll a survival check for me. Let's see if there's anything nearby.
Okay, just a straight survival. Okay.
Yeah, well, with advantage because I'll be helping you.
All right, that's better. 18.
All right. With that roll, as this gentleman stops leaning against the tree and walks into the middle of the road in front of us, so it's 100 yards up the road yet. While you're looking around trying to find a possible place to camp, you notice with that roll that there's other people in the woods on both sides of the road. Humanoids.
Okay, well, this seems like bandits or highwaymen. It seems like that sort of setup.
It does look exactly like that kind of setup. Especially as the gentleman on the side of the road says, the front of the road says to you, "Well, young sirs, this is my road, and I charge for people to use this road. It will cost you 200 gold pieces to go by. Otherwise, I'd have to ask you to turn around."
How far is this person from me?
100 yards.
In feet, please.
300 feet.
All right, well, we're not paying this guy 200 gold. Just keep going on a road that he definitely does not own.
He does not own the road. He says he does, though.
Yes, well, people say all sorts of things.
Yeah, so what do you want to do?
We recently today had a woman who tried to charm me and then claimed not to. Well, we're not paying him, obviously, so I guess we're going to keep...
walking then?
I'm going to keep walking forward, yep. I can't cast spells at him from where I am.
No.
So, yeah.
He says,
It's,
well,
I'm going to let him make the first decision. To be fair, we haven't said we haven't paid it. We're not going to pay him yet, and we're 300 feet away.
yeah.
So if he wants gold from us, we'd have to get closer anyway.
Oh, it says, as you start walking forward, it cautions you that if you want to try any trickeries, there are a dozen crossbows pointed at you at this moment.
For my earlier roll, do I know if there's a dozen people total in both sides?
18.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
It was survival, not perception.
Yeah. sides of the road, and not, like one or two.
Alright. Can I make a perception check to see if I can count? Or at least get a good idea?
Certainly.
Alright, I'm asking for this now. Yeah. And
You can have advantage.
okay. I had one good roll. 8.
You've got 8?
Yeah.
There are people on either side of the road.
Alright. I mean, even if I would... I mean, I'm just going to keep walking forward. Even if this guy wants money out of us, we can't just... we have to walk over and give it to him.
Okay.
So
you walk forward.
yeah.
And when you get to about the 100-foot mark,
Okay.
you said stop.
I thought you wanted gold. I thought you wanted your gold.
Take out your money and just drop it on the road right there.
So I'm at the 100-foot mark now.
Yes.
Alright, well, let's see how he responds to this. I suppose technically they could just be aiming at us and readying shots. I'm not giving in to extortionists here. Alright. I am going to... Yeah, let's really see how much they want this gold. I'm going to cast Magic Missile at 3rd level at this guy.
Alright.
If I take a bunch of crossbow bolts, well, I can cast Shield in response.
Alright.
Alright. That's 16 points of force damage from all 5 magic missiles.
Alright.
I rolled 2 1s, unfortunately.
Well, he doesn't like that, I can tell you that much. He screams in pain, and at the same time as you cast this,
Yeah.
a dozen crossbow bolts come shooting out of the trees at us.
Okay. We're rolling for initiative after this, I guess?
Yes. These are the ready actions.
Yes.
Alright, so. Your armor class is
11. But I have cast Shield, depending on how this goes.
There are 4 crossbow bolts that are going to hit you at an armor class of 11.
Okay, what are the rolls?
One is a 1. I'm not sure where that one went.
Just the ones that are going to hit me.
Oh, sorry. One second. Double check the bonuses.
Almost everyone does.
There is an 11, a 15, a 16, a 17, and a 21.
21? I thought you said there's only 4.
There's 6.
No, you said there were 4 bolts that were going at me.
Yeah, one's a 1.
Well, why are there 5 numbers there then? that are hitting me?
They roll well.
No, but you said there were only 4 shots going at me.
No. 6 are going at you.
Yeah.
6 are going at me.
Yes, but a moment ago you said there was only 5 hits. 4 hits.
Yeah, I know, but I forgot to add the bonus. It got just to your armor class.
Alright, then I will cast Shield in response. So my armor class becomes 16.
So now you get hit with 3 crossbow bolts.
Ow.
For a total of 16 points of damage.
Ow! That's painful. And I take it we're rolling initiative now.
Oh no, first they're gonna hit me. I get it with 2 crossbows.
Do you have shield prepared?
It'll only block 1. Oh, those are good numbers. I got hit with 2 bolts, 17 points of damage.
Should have cast shield.
Yeah, it would have saved me a few anyway, but yeah. Now we can roll it.
Alright, well, in contrast to everything else I've rolled so far, I rolled a 19.
Good for you. I rolled a 4.
You've been rolling bad initiative lately.
I know.
And it's just all of them at once, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll all those together.
What? How much damage? So what's your hit point total after the 17 points of damage?
Well, I have 52.
Alright, so you have 1 more hit point than I do, I think. No, wait. 52. Yeah, you have 35 hit points left, I think.
That does sound right.
Huh. Okay. And what did they all roll?
Alright, so you guys are at the top of the list. I think that's the first time that's happened in a long time.
No, it hasn't. It's been happening very frequently over the past few sessions.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, alright. You're first, then come the archers, and then the perforated gentleman in the front of the row, and taking up the rear, me.
Alright, so you're not telling me what their initiative is, but that's fine. And there are...
Probably what it is.
No, it doesn't matter.
No.
We don't know how many bandits there are yet.
Well, you know, there's 12 of them, roughly.
Good grief, that's gonna be a lot. Well, they don't have a lot of hit points, but still. Alright, and he's taken 16 points of force damage.
Yes. He is not looking happy about that either.
Well, I could probably kill him off at this round. That means I have to worry about all those bandits. That's a lot of attacks. They're likely to get in a few. Alright, so there's 6 on each side, I guess, then?
Yes. One batch shoots at me, one batch shoots
How
at you.
far?
How far are they away?
Yes.
It's not that wide. You're looking at total width of the road is not for 2 cars to go by, so you're looking at about 50 feet. We're in the middle, and then the woods are almost like right up against the side. So you're looking at, they're about 60 feet away, divided by 2.
So 30 feet.
30 feet.
Well, in that case, I'm going to take out that 2 things from my pack.
Yep.
We're going to pull out the crystal rod, the control rod.
Yep.
And I am going to take out the crystal for the Allosaurus.
Okay. Alright.
And I am going to throw one in the direction of all the ones who shot at me.
Yep.
Whichever one, I don't care which one it is, but that one. And how far can I summon these things?
30 feet.
30 feet.
So
So,
basically seeing where
yeah.
they are.
right, we're there. Okay, that's perfect. I'll toss it out there, point the control rod as a bonus action, and summon the Allosaurus and consume the crystal. And I'll bring up its stats. 1 second.
I have the stats.
Yeah.
I would like you to roll its initiative, though.
Yeah. How do you spell Allosaurus? 1 second.
So, A-L-L-O.
Hang on, I'm just taking it from my Word document. 1 second.
Right. It has an AC of 13, 54 hit points, speed of 60.
Speed of 6. Oh, it's going to. Alright, and its initiative modifier is +1, and it has a 10 total.
It has a
+1. So 10.
There's a 10.
Yeah. So how does that figure into this?
It is going to go after the archers.
Okay, so... Alright then. And my instructions are to eat the archers.
Alright, you can just yell out. Help the morale a little bit.
Yeah, alright, so that's a bonus action, thanks to Control Rod. So I can still, as an action... Well, let's... Well, I did not prepare Mirror Image, which might be a mistake. Might want to change that going forward. But I'm going to hit the... Oh, no, he's too... No, he's too far for that. Alright, he's too far for Frostbite, so... I'm going to hit him with Magic Missile again. Second. Okay. 14 points of force damage.
He does not like that.
He's still standing?
Partially, yes.
Alright, so 30 damage. That's a lot of damage. He's a hardy bandit.
Yep. Alright.
Do I want to move? I suppose I could. I'll move 30 feet closer to him. For all the good that'll do. I'm still an easy target.
Yes, you are. Alright.
And now we come to all 12 of the bandits. Well, I hope I gave them something more terrifying than me.
Alright, so I am going to roll this excited. I'm going to decide how many are going for you, and how many are going to go for this glowing crystalline dinosaur that just appeared right amongst them. Alright, 4 have decided to attack the dinosaur.
That makes sense.
The 4 of them that are right beside it, probably.
Oh, if they're melee with it, they have disadvantage to shoot him.
Yep.
Yep.
The natural 20 turns into a 4.
So that's a miss, right?
20 total changes into a 9.
That might hit.
8 becomes a 2. And the one that went at 5th becomes a 3.
So they all miss?
Alright. They all miss one. This disadvantage is really annoying.
Well, they could have moved out of the way, but then I guess they would get an attack. Only one of them, though.
Alright, you have the highest number that went to roll for you is a 10.
So they both miss.
They both miss. I feel a little shell-shocked at the moment. They have an Allosaurus.
So, what about the other one? What about the other 6 on the other side?
The other 6 are going to see if they can make me into a pincushion.
Oh, they're just all shooting for you. Okay.
Wow. My dice have gone cold.
There's something about summoning a crystal in Allosaurus that seems to do that.
Yes, I think they need to change their underwear or something because 5 of them just, without any changes to my armor class or anything, just missed. A couple were really close. 1 hits.
Alright.
For 10 points of damage, maxed out. God.
I mean... You've taken a lot of damage so far.
27 points of damage. Whoa, that really hurts.
Oh,
Okay.
no. Now you're at... Sorry, now you're at 35. You were at 45 before, I just realized.
I've taken 27 points of damage.
Yes.
Time for Al.
Yes, the Allosaurus.
He has...
A bite and a claw attack, no multi-attack. Okay. So a pounce of the Allosaurus. Well, it's not going to be moving. So I'll just have the Allosaurus go for its bite attack.
Alright.
Alright, so that's plus 6 to hit, 2d10 plus 4 piercing damage. Alright. I'm just gonna go for it makes no difference, but the one that basically rolled the best to hit me makes no difference, I know.
I wouldn't even know which one that one was.
Well, I don't think it's going to hit anyway because I've rolled a 3 plus 6 is 9. I don't think that's their armor class.
No, even if they were just standing there in their underwear.
And this is why dinosaurs went extinct.
Magical ones? Alright, so we are now at his initiative. And he is running for the woods.
Which side?
That's a 50-50. The riverside, my side.
Okay.
He makes the rules. And finally, we get to me!
Pincushion Jonas.
Yeah. I am really not happy. I'm gonna fireball full 20 seconds of the woods at my side.
Sorry, I just realized I got your hit points wrong again. You are at 25, not 35. Apparently, I can't do math at the moment.
Yeah, so that's 25 hit points. They can easily kill me if they all hit.
Well, knock you unconscious. So you're fireballing them all.
That's fireballing. I'm not taking any chances.
Should I roll dex saves for them, or?
If you do it.
All right. So there's 7 How many targets can you fit in this fireball?
Well, the nice thing about the way they have situated themselves, it's 40 feet long. They're all just standing.
Is that all 7 then?
Oh, well, yeah, him. No, he's not in it.
So okay, so 6.
Go down the road.
Okay, so I don't know what their modifiers are, but 16, 16, and 14 are the first 3. I think those are mostly likely to save.
This is
12, 13, and 18. Where were these numbers earlier?
one fails. The rest all make it.
Alright. So good to know they have a dexterity of +2, because that 13 was the only one that could have been the save.
32 points of damage.
Okay, that has to kill some of them.
The woods are very quiet on my side, besides some crackling.
And on fire, because you threw a fireball into them.
Yeah, there was a brief, excruciating scream, and then silence besides some crackling branches and leaves.
Alright, so all 6 are dead, even if the ones that saved?
Well, even at a save, they take
16.
16 points of damage.
Yeah. Alright, so the leader wasn't in there, but I don't think he wants to be in those woods anymore because they are now on fire.
On fire, and he is really, really rough.
Alright,
So, back to the top of the round, which is you.
which is me. Alright, well, my Allosaurus still has its instructions.
Yeah.
Distance to the guy who was running?
He's not. He's just into the woods. You moved ahead 30 feet, so you're still roughly 100 feet from him, but it's now just changed the angle. He's not running very fast.
Yeah. I really don't care what happens to him if he gets away or not, so I'm going to move back and help. I'm going to move back my movement to try and help you with... I'm just going to move back. I'm going to move 30 feet towards the other side of the woods, towards where the Allosaurus is.
Yeah.
And I'll use my action to dash to get closer.
Alright.
So I assume I can see some of them now from the distance I'm at.
Yeah, it is, like I said, it is getting a little later in the day, and the woods are in a bit of shadow, but
Alright, so they should all be within range of my cantrips then, which means I can save some spell slots. Okay. Well, that's my turn. Now we come to them. The half that are still left. They're not running at this point. They're insane.
Yeah. You can roll an attack of opportunity for your alpha.
Alright, this hits because that's a total of 20.
Yes, I think so. Yeah,
Alright, 2d10 plus 4. Alright, that's a total of 15 points of piercing damage as the Allosaurus's bite goes down and...
you hear blood-curdling screams followed by silence.
And, yeah. Like in Jurassic Park, it eats him.
And then the remaining 5 are scampering.
Okay. Well, that's their turn.
That's their turn.
And then we come to the Allosaurus's turn,
So,
whose instructions were to eat the archers.
yeah, so he can easily catch up to one of them and do a pounce.
Yep, the Allosaurus is going to move I assume they're moving... I mean, it can move 60 feet, which means even if they're dashing, it can catch up to them.
They're just running, but
Yeah.
pounce on.
Alright, so move 60 feet towards the nearest one and can use this pounce, which is when it moves at least 30 feet in a straight toward a creature, and then hits with a claw attack. Okay, not bite.
If it gets a successful claw attack, it bites.
As a bonus action, I see that, yes. Alright, so this is the claw attack first.
It
14?
hits.
Hits, okay, so the damage, and that's a d8. 1 plus 4 is 5.
Yep.
And that bandit needs to make a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
17.
Succeeds. So doesn't get the doesn't get the bite attack then, but is immediately adjacent to that bandit.
Alright. I could fireball the woods. But I don't see the point.
Why, though? The Allosaurus is just doing what I. It was just going off automatic attack basically at this point.
Yep. You want to track down the leader?
Well, it's his turn next, isn't it?
Yeah. He's run away.
Okay. Well, then we come to you.
Unless I cast Expedition Retreat, I would not be able to catch up to them.
They are bandits. This is not worth it.
Alright, so we'll fall into combat at this point. Your Allosaurus actually will get one more attack of opportunity.
Okay. That's another 20 total.
Yeah.
So the hit. So that's another bite attack.
It hits and it kills them because it's the bonus of the loan is not zero at this point.
Okay. It would have been 12 damage.
Which would kill them all by itself. So, yeah. Alright.
All right. So they run off, and then the Allosaurus chases them.
Yeah, well, basically, because of its move rate, it can systematically kill the rest of them unless you give it another order.
Well, I assume some of them are spreading out. If they're intelligent, they'll spread out, and it can't get to all of them, and it will eventually lose track of maybe a few of them.
Would you like just roll random, or are you going to give them instructions?
I mean, it's out for an hour. That's a problem with these things. You can't really dismiss them, can you? Oh. I'll just...
Also,
As soon as it is clear that the combat is over and that they're no longer a threat, I'll dismiss the Allosaurus.
or you can just ask him, tell him to come back.
No, it's fine.
Alright. Okay. That was excruciating.
Yeah, it was initially a little bad for me, but...
Yeah, you didn't take 27 hit points of damage.
No, I took 16.
Alright, I think we need to go a little bit further before we decide to sleep for tonight.
Alright, so we are going to move the remaining hour of movement. Okay.
And then I would like you to roll one more survival check, please. It'll find a nicer place to sleep for me.
Nicer than that 18? I doubt it. Oh, well, I rolled a so the natural 18 plus 3 is 21. So I did find this nicer place.
Yes. You find a nice little babbling brook in the side of the middle of the clearing. It's very, very idyllic.
Alright. Let's gather up some kindling. Make another campfire with prestidigitation. Have a nice hot supper.
Yep.
Alright, so that's another day's worth of food gone.
Just checking to see if that he was going to try and get a bit of revenge, and he's smarter than that, apparently.
Alright. Just to be safe, because we're about to, because I assume does our meal count as a short rest, or is it just part of our long rest? Out of curiosity.
It is really irrelevant in the long run unless something happens.
Yes.
But you can have it as a short rest.
Yeah. I'm just going to roll 3 of my hit dice to recover some hit points. 4. Alright, so I rolled a grand total of 15 just on my hit dice before I even add my constitution modifier, so I'm back up to full health.
Alright. 6th level now?
Yeah.
I'll do 3 today as well.
And I'm going to use Arcane Recovery. Lets me get back a 3rd level and a 1st level spell slot thanks to my Arcane Grimoire. So down 1 spell slot. Just in case anything happens over the course of the night.
I'm down 3 hit points after that meal.
You could roll another hit die if you want. It is moot point because we are about to go into a long rest, I suspect.
Yeah. So we're sitting there by our campfire. We finished our meal, feeling much more relaxed after, well, 6 seconds of terror. Is basically what it turned into.
Alright.
I hear a bit of a hum. Kind of on like the verge of music. Can you roll?
Oh, that can't be anything good.
You were so pessimistic today.
I'm sorry, but when has ever humming in the middle of the night been a good thing?
It could be a dry afternoon.
So what am I rolling?
Hold on a sec here. I gotta figure that out. Can you roll a d20 for me?
Just a d20, no modifiers?
Well, you can treat it as a wisdom saving throw if you like. Just add your modifiers in.
Oh, I can treat it as a wisdom saving throw. Alright, 15 total.
Right. It's kind of odd because you're right on the cusp.
Yes, this is 9.
It feels like you're sitting there, you're concentrating on it a little bit. It feels like this like a hum. And then sort of drifts into like almost like music. And then a hum that kind of fades back and forth. And then you kind of shake your head and say, no, there's no real music involved in there at all.
And where was this coming from?
It's coming from that direction. So, wow, that's really gorgeous music. Can you hear it?
Should I take it from that you failed?
Let's go check that out and start heading off.
I'm going to follow behind you, and I'm going to follow behind you more cautiously.
Alright. Are you being cautious as in stealthy? Cautious as in keeping your eyes peeled? What?
Stealth probably isn't going to be too big of a deal here, but I'm going to try and keep my eyes open.
Alright, roll a perception check, please.
22.
Alright. You notice as we start walking, because like I said, there's on one side there's a babbling brook, and there's this really nice nice clearing where we decided to set up camp. We go up a little bit of a rise, and following the brook, basically, we come to another clearing. And you notice there's something odd. It looks like a clearing, but there seems to be like a circular patch of a little bit too perfect, almost, not grass, but leaves and twigs and stuff. It just seems out of place.
Like a pit?
Like something that's not natural.
Alright, if that's all I get from a 22, I'm not sure why I bother rolling perception checks.
This is like extremely difficult one to do. Like I said, extremely difficult one to do.
And you do not notice it, I imagine.
I'm falling in love with music.
Do I have any idea where this is coming from with that roll?
Yeah, it's coming from that circular bit.
Ah, good grief.
It is about 70, 80 feet.
I mean, if you're charmed, I'm not going to be able to convince you of anything, not with my charisma. Oh. Oh, but you rested. Oh, good grief. I have sleep prepared. There's no chance I'm rolling over your hip, rolling 50 on sleep.
So what are you going to do as
I don't have... Oh, well, there's not much I can do. I can try and stop you, but the odds of me being able to convince you of that when you're charmed is basically zero. Alright, I'll try and get you to stop. To see if I can convince you to stop. And try to point to the very obvious trap. Which you seem to have missed.
roll a persuasion check?
Is this a disadvantage, or is this just going to be... Alright. Natural 20! Which is what that would have taken, probably, for a total of 21.
I will give myself another saving throw. Well, with your persuasion, you seem to shake out of this. And say, it's actually not that pretty at all, is it? Kind of like a grating hum. And I noticed the circular bit.
Yes. Is there a stone nearby that I can throw into that?
You can find stone might be a little bit difficult unless you go to the brook. But you can find a branch quite easily.
Okay, I'm going to throw a branch at this from where I'm standing.
Alright, so you're about 60 feet away.
Yeah.
Roll.
This is going to have to be fairly high, and this is definitely strength. Okay, 12 minus 1 is 11.
You get close, but no. And I said, well, we are wizards after all. I'm going to firebolt the thing. Instead of cantrip.
Yeah.
And I roll well above that.
Yeah, I think inanimate objects, armor class is 5, I think.
Yeah, well, 24 definitely does hit.
Alright, so for the second time today, you're setting a forest on fire.
No. Alright. This firebolt pierces through whatever that is quite easily. And you hear a odd sort of chittering sound as a really large spider bursts out of this hole and is launching itself towards us.
A trapdoor spider that was somehow charming you.
Now we roll some initiatives.
Alright, this is clearly something made up.
Hey, I feel like I got a good initiative.
I have a 10.
What do you have as modifiers? Oh, +3.
That's high for a spider.
Yeah.
What do you have?
21. This has an 18. You have a 10. Alright, so what do we got here? It didn't seem to like the fire.
Oh, it actually took damage.
Yeah, because the top part of its trap is very light, designed for it to spring out of, not for it to be hard to get through. So yeah, I am going to.
If I may ask, how much damage did it take?
It didn't take the full 10, but it did take part of it because it was partially blocked by the cover.
Okay, fine.
I am going to take with a diamond, and I'm going to cast a second level. I think fire is probably the best bet, I guess. I am going to cast Chromatic Orb.
Right. The Allosaurus is gone. Is it above or below my 11?
Its armor class?
Yes.
Is better than yours.
Yes. Okay.
But when you have +7 on the hit, it's not enough. And I do 18 points of damage to it. That's a good chromatic orb.
Okay.
Now, with that, the spider bursts into flames.
Oh, you instant killed it?
Instant killed it. Well, technically 2 spells, but yeah. That was impressive.
Alright then.
I have really enjoyed Chromatic Orb and his ability to do damage. It has never let me down yet.
Alright, well, now that it's dead, I'm definitely satisfied with my curiosity to what in the world this thing was that was able to charm you.
So I'm going to go and have a look at the corpse.
Yes. I have no idea what check this would be.
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
It is not a natural.
Oh, dear. 15. Even with a 7, that's rather good. Might be too low, though.
For anything truly specific, it looks like a trapdoor spider.
Yes.
It does seem to have slight different aspect to it. The back legs look like they're more like cricket legs, because crickets can rub their legs.
Okay, so it was doing like the cricket song thing it does. Okay.
Yeah, and it does seem to have some sort of hypnotic quality to it.
This is a very dangerous area for just villagers to go by. We've had someone try to charm us with a spell. We've had bandits. Now we've had some sort of spider cricket hybrid that can also charm you.
Don't forget the griffin.
Oh yeah, the griffin. I forgot about it because it wasn't actually doing anything to us.
Neither did the kids.
Yes, but they're just children. We were also, like, not even a day's travel from Vyrn's Run at that point, so...
We are getting in now to much more wilderness.
Yeah.
We're getting now into sections where there's very few in the way of farms, much more in the way of things that we have to watch out for.
Okay.
So we head back to our camp.
Yep.
I will set up the hut. You'll set up
The alarm.
And we will...
And it's your turn to take first watch.
Right. So I'll continue with my research.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to roll yet anyway, so I will just ride that natural 20 for a little while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be on the third. It's going to be on the third or fourth that you have to make your next roll.
I will roll. See if anybody's going to come disturb our beauty rest. My watch goes by uneventfully.
All right.
I wake you up, and your turn to roll.
All right. I'll have Alice out. While I do a bit more writing in my grimoire. Okay, 21 total.
Okay. For your record-keeping aspects of this, every night you can accumulate 4 hours worth of work towards your copying your book in.
Okay. I'm just going
Every
to...
night, just write down that you have like just the number of hours. Keep track of the number of hours.
Okay. I'm going to write down...
Something else happens.
yeah. So yeah, it's 72 hours remaining at this point.
So, if watch goes by uneventfully, I have a suggestion that this is actually a really nice spot. Once the sun comes up, I suggest we spend the day here.
Says the person who was nearly eaten by a trapdoor spider cricket.
Yeah. Well, you didn't want to stop at the B&Bs, so this is what we get.
Okay. I don't know, the bed and breakfast was like not even a full day out from Vyrn's run.
They're not bed and breakfasts. They're barn and breakfast.
Alright, well, ignoring the pun. You want to stay here for the day, I guess, to do a bit more.
Yeah, do a bit more research. You get a full 8 hours worth of studying in, so can I. It's a nice spot.
Okay. Alright, I'm just changing my spells up because we can do that now. Oh, and I get 2 new portents. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to just take... I don't have to roll for anything because this is from my spellbook. So I'm going to knock 8 more hours off of my transcribing. And what about you? Are you going to roll for your...
I got 2 successes, so I don't have to.
Okay.
Just getting closer to it, that's all. I like natural 20s. I missed rolling natural 20s on my potion taking, I tell you. I only ever did it once.
Yep.
Alright, so we spend a restful day.
Okay.
We get all our hit points, all our spells, everything is back.
Yep.
The next morning, we head out.
Okay.
It's getting actually considerably cooler now. That little bit of a heat wave is ending. It's only, well, it's almost, like it was almost frost in the ground in the morning now. And it does get fairly close to double digits, but not quite during the day. Not uncomfortable. It's actually pretty good for...
Do you mean single digits?
Getting pretty close to double digits, but not quite.
Well, I assume we are going down.
Yeah, but it was in the teens.
Okay, never mind. So we're in the single digits of temperatures. This is not important. We don't have a thermostat.
No. It's actually a really nice walking temperature because, you know, getting in the flow of walking. But anyway, not really important.
Okay.
It is now at the point where farms are very far apart. Nothing really eventful happens, really. Only D20 just to be on the safe side, but
9.
yeah. I'll just double check. We have a quiet day.
Okay.
And then we finally get to the point where we are approaching the first of the bridges.
Alright then.
We get close to it, we notice there's something amiss. the bridge isn't there.
Okay. So we need to purchase a map in Vyrn's Run.
Yep.
So there's a bridge on our map, but there isn't one here.
Yeah, but you do recall that we did recently have a massive flood in the river, and I guess it got washed out.
Okay, well, it's just a river. We can try and cross that.
Well, as we approach, we notice on the far side some people that were coming towards Vyrn's Run. There are a number of wagons, some with lumber, some with other materials. Looks like there's some sort of camp set up there. They're in the process of obviously trying to repair the bridge so that they can, deliver their goods. Roll a perception check, please.
Oh. 8.
Hard to tell from this distance, but you don't really see any people.
All right, then.
We get a little closer.
All right, then. So.
Hold on a second. Good God. Just a little bit, please. Good enough.
All right.
This is what you see.
So we're on this side.
We're on this side here, and we're coming towards it. We see the bridge is not there. It's a lot of rubble. We see the camp here.
Mm-hmm.
There are no livestock. There's horses and or oxen pulling the carts. Don't see those. If you're wondering what this is a waterfall. Quite loud because it falls down, because this on this side is the gorge.
Mm-hmm.
And we hear that, and then pretty much all we hear is the sound of the water. We do see something interesting, though. This cart here seems to be moving, rocking back and forth a little bit, and something very strange comes out of the cart.
All right, what is something very strange?
It's 9 feet tall.
That's tall.
It has really large hands. One hand has a cask. You've seen them in bars.
Yeah.
It's not like a keg for beer. It's smaller, so it's holding like brandy or something. And the other hand has what very much looks like someone's arm, and takes a bite out of the arm, chews on that, and drinks from the cask. He's like I said, 9 feet tall. It's actually wearing clothing.
Some sort of giant?
Well, you can sort of make a roll in a second, but it has taken bits and pieces of people's clothing, kind of sort of patched it all together into what looks like a kind of a very weird looking set of clothes.
Okay, so it's got a patchwork clothing, at least semi-intelligent to be able to pull that off, but it has no issue eating humanoids.
No, it's kind of just staggering a little bit too.
Oh, probably drunk.
Well, it is drinking a cask of brandy or something.
Okay, so can I make a...
Yes. You can make an Arcana check.
An Arcana check. Okay. I'm rolling quite badly. 14. Fortunately, I get to add +8.
Yeah. Even with all the incongruities of this, you're some kind of troll, possibly?
Ah.
You're not sure.
Well, on the one hand, it's on the opposite side of the river from us.
Yep. And it is quite inebriated. And has spotted us now. And is sort of staggering in our general direction.
Oh, don't go swimming when you're drunk.
And it looks like it's in the process of trying to figure out what to do.
I mean, don't go swimming after. You have to wait an hour after you finish eating, and I definitely don't do it when you're drunk.
No, he's not done eating. So yeah, he's basically picture yourself some guy sitting at a bar eating chicken wings and drinking a beer. Substitute that for
A troll.
Troll-looking thing drinking from a cask and chewing on someone's arm. And that's the kind of picture you have.
All right. Well, at least there's not 3 of them.
And I think this is where we're going to take a break.
Okay.